Hello photographers, so I'm in the Peak District again. Today I'm going to be taking some black and white photography, travelling quite light. I've just got my camera, literally no tripod, no other lenses, just my Z7, my 24 to 70mm f4 lens, and so yeah, I'm just to try something a bit different and concentrate on some black and white photography. So yeah, let's see what I can find, hopefully find some good compositions, some nice light and shadow, and it should be a good day. So yeah, like I said, travelling light, which is really good. It feels really liberating just having your camera and lens, not having to like lug a load of other stuff around. I mean, I've got a backpack with like water and things in, but no other camera gear. And then, you know, it means I'm not having to stress about changing lenses, having to set up the tripod, just free to take pictures really. So yeah, really loving that. So how cool are these dams? Apparently this whole area is where they tested out the Dam Busters bombs. So it makes for brilliant photography as well, especially when you're shooting black and white, because yeah, just the light and shadow on that architecture and all the nooks and crannies just create really great interest and texture. So yeah, brilliant. I've set my camera, the picture control, you can do that in the menu settings, to be monochrome. So when I'm looking through the viewfinder, I see it in black and white, which really helps when you're composing a black and white photo, because you're not distracted by all the colour elements and you can just see where the light and shade is. And yeah, there's a great scene behind me. I'm going to try getting that. I've already got some good ones of the dam further down. And yeah, I think there's some really good stuff here, so I'm really looking forward to getting around and getting some good shots. Really just simplify a scene when you're shooting in black and white. I like that. When you're shooting in colour, you know, it can get quite confusing, all the background, and especially when you're doing like trees and things. All the greens and the leaves and the trunks of the trees just mingle together, and black and white just gets rid of all that noise and confusion. And you can really concentrate on the composition and just like light and shadow. So yeah, I do like that. I do kind of feel that I'm missing out on some nice, lovely, saturated summer colours. But you know, you've got to make choices, and I've decided to come out and get black and white, and plus I'm shooting in RAW as well, so the colour data is still there. So when I get back in Lightroom, I can still choose to make it a colour photo if I want to do. So yeah, it's a lovely day so far. It's going to get warm. I mean, it's coming up to 11 o'clock, I think, and it's already getting warm. So yeah, even though there's loads of photography to get, I don't want to take too long to get around, because I know that by midday it's going to be absolutely boiling. But yeah, really enjoying it. So this tree is really nice just by itself. You've got that wall creating a diagonal through the image, and then you've got the tree solo by itself and some really nice light coming in from one side, creating some strong light and shadows on the branches. Gives it a really nice 3D effect. And also on the wall, those kind of jagged little rocks coming up from the top of the stone wall, they're catching the sunlight coming in from the side. So yeah, that's a nice little shot, and I'm going to get that, I think. It's going to look nice in black and white, although there is some nice purple heather here, so it could also look good in colour as well, but yeah, black and white today. Let's see how that comes out. So I hope it's not too loud, there's actually a helicopter flying around overhead. But I thought this scene was quite nice. There's some, I've got the water behind, I'm using a polarising filter to take the glare of that away. And got the sun coming in from the right hand side there, just casting some really nice shadows there. So that should look really nice in black and white, but we'll see. So I'm back now, and it was another lovely day out in the Peak District. It was the same place I got footage for the video I did where I was taking Polaroid landscapes. So if you haven't seen that one yet, I'll link it up here. It's a fabulous walk all the way around the reservoir. The weather was fantastic, a little too fantastic because it was boiling hot. But yeah, great scenery, and I was happy with some of the shots I got, less happy with others. But I'll go through them now, the ones I've picked out, and I'll talk about what I do and don't like about them. So this is taken looking out over one of the dams, and I took a Polaroid of this one, and I really liked the way that the branches around the edges were framing the scene. So I wanted to get that again, and I also like how in this one the cloud kind of breaks in that top left hand corner and it almost continues the frame. So yeah, really like that element of the photo. I like the strong shadows on the back side of the dam, and the way it creates that little triangle of light on the front side of the tower. What I don't like about this one is how the tower lines up with the top of the trees on the horizon, the kind of top of the mountain top. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot I could do about that because I couldn't get high enough so that the tower would be below that top line, and I couldn't get close enough so that I was looking up to make the tower be above that line. So yeah, that's how it is basically, but overall I do like the picture. I think that might have been the best one I got on the day. I like how big and wide open this scene looks. You know, you can see for miles, and I like how this fence at the bottom kind of frames it as well. You've got the trees and the horizon line forming the top part of a frame almost, and then you've got the fence at the bottom which balances it out. And I also like how you've got those bikes leaning against the fence. It kind of gives a kind of element of mystery to the picture because there are no people in the scene, and you think, you know, why are the bikes there and where are the people? And that just, yeah, adds something to the emptiness of the picture. You know, it's so wide open and empty. I kind of like that. Perhaps there could be more contrast in the trees, a bit more highlights, just to pick out a bit of texture of the trees. But yeah, overall, fairly pleased with that one as well. And this is the last one I picked out. I like all the light in this picture. You know, there's so much variation with some of the leaves catching the light and the really bright sunlight coming in, and then you've got the ones that are slightly more shaded, and you've got the light shining on the roots there. And I like how the background is really washed out almost with that light, and that just gives it a bit of depth to the picture. And I emphasised that when I was editing it as well. I kind of used a brush tool and just dehazed it a little bit in the background just to add extra kind of depth to the picture. What I don't like about this picture is a lot of it's in and out of focus. A lot of the branches were kind of, some were a lot closer to the camera, some were further away, and it was fairly dark and shaded in the foresty area. I didn't want to put my ISO too high or have too slow a shutter speed, and so I did have quite a wide aperture, so quite a low f-stop, and that's made my depth of field a bit shallow, and so I've got some of the leaves out of focus, but also in a way that adds a little kind of, you know, the softness adds a bit of kind of like, yeah, that enchanted feel to it and makes it look like something from a Tolkien novel or something like that. So yeah, I do like this one, and that's why I included it as well. I did have to do some cloning out in the image, so I'm not going to tell you where it is. I'd be interested if you can spot the area that I've cloned out, so maybe leave it in the comments if you can see that. So there we go.
Why not experiment with black and white for your own landscape shots? It can really make a difference to when you're using colour, and it's just a nice change as well sometimes. I did a video with some editing of black and white images for landscape, so I'll link that one up here as well. And that's it for now, so hope you enjoyed the video. See you again for the next one. Bye for now.